Where to begin? Okay. My parents were married for immigration purposes. My mother is heavily autistic/disabled. My father is neurotypical. I'm not entirely sure what to call not autistic. Please excuse me if I used any terminology that would be offensive. When I was a baby, my father and his family grew tired of my mother. In an attempt to get rid of her and keep me, they had staged that my mother abused me. I was told that she was taken by the police for child abuse. To me, I was told she hit me, and that was why I was removed from her care. The entire situation, I found about 2 and something decades later, was false. Growing up, I had always heard many versions, and dealing with the guilt of being a burden to my father, and the reason my mother didn't have a husband nearly ended me. About 2 decades and some ago, my father and his family had thrown my mother's things out on the lawn, sent her into panic, and in attempting to hold on to me, my mother resisted arrest and hit a cop. She was taken, of course, and because she was unable to speak for herself, lost me to my father. He remarried a few months later. I did not grow up with her. I was only allowed to see her a few times before I was even halfway to adulthood, and was stopped from seeing her since then. My father's second wife was my mother before I was even able to formulate memories. I have only had a phone relationship with my mother for most of my life. Growing up with my father was difficult. He went through torture as a child. He never physically wounded me as much as he was wounded. However, emotionally, he was just as unkind. My mother still calls me. Seeing her number appear on my phone sends me into a spiral. I grieved her. When I was very young, she didn't understand what happened, just that, in her eyes, it was my fault. She was cruel at first and softened with age. But by the time she had softened and was someone I wanted to know and protect, I had to say goodbye. I guess it took years to deal with the grief of it. And now, every time she calls, it's like feeling everything all over again. I was depressed for years. My life away from her wasn't easy. I dealt with my grief of not having her, accepted it, removed myself from the toxic environment I grew up in, and grew to be my own person. I am gay. She does not understand. She wants to live with me, and she, being religious, doesn't know what she's getting into. I want to study abroad. Getting anything past a bachelor's here is expensive. I also wanted to see the world. And with her, it would be like adopting a child who won't do well with change. I know myself. I know I will end up finding a way to care for her. But seeing her number, remembering that not caring for her would make her completely alone in this world, I cannot bring myself to do, and knowing that this means I can't live life how I would want it isn't something my head or chest can fathom. I fought to live how I want. I don't even know her favorite color. And she knows nothing of me. We talk about her day and her past and her hurt. I wish she never felt pain. It hurts me and breaks me a little every time knowing someone innocent was this badly hurt. It's been a month I haven't answered her. I don't know how to talk to her. I can't tell her how I am or what I feel. It's like explaining to a kid. And all I can do, I comfort her. It's been this way since I was a kid and not allowed to go over to her anymore. It's just been phone calls. I know one day my existence will be all about her. She isn't a citizen here and cannot leave the country. Which means I cannot leave the country. Which means I cannot pursue my studies how I want because I won't be able to afford it. AITA for not being able to talk to her? Even 10 minutes feels like a century. I feel like I can't breathe. And it isn't her fault. I want to give her what she wants, but it's killing me and I don't know how to turn it off anymore. I just wish that the responsibility those before me took on falls on the shoulders of someone who didn't even want to be born. And my brain can't register her as my mom. I didn't grow up with her, and the phone calls weren't enough to make a connection of her in my head. I know. It sounds awful. I just feel responsible and know that she's innocent and will need care one day. Anyway, Ida?